Hi, this is TJR, and as I record this audio track, the new live-action adaptation of Walt Disney's 1991 animated film classic, Beauty and the Beast, is about to hit theaters. Many of these live-action adaptations of Disney classic animated films can be as similar as they are different from their animated counterparts. But the advanced reviews I have heard about this one state that, in spite of a few small differences, it's mostly an exact live-action copy of the original film. Now, I would ask artistically why any studio would want to bother to remake their own film when it's going to be essentially the same movie. But I already know the reason. It's simple economics. The film is beloved worldwide, and the majority of that audience that loves the original will go and see it, even if it ends up being the same movie. So with this new live-action adaptation coming to theaters, I thought it might be a good time to talk about the 1946 version of Beauty and the Beast. Yes, the 1946 version of Beauty and the Beast from France, directed by filmmaker Jean Cocteau, and starring Josette Day as Belle and Jean Marais as the Beast, otherwise known in France as La Belle et la Bête, and pardon my French if I mispronounce any of that. This was the first major film release to come out of post-war France, and in the audio commentary on the recent Criterion Collection release, it stated that a lot was riding on the film's success and on France's movie industry. At the film's opening, there is a preamble from the filmmaker. In it, he asks adults to remember what it was like to be children, and to remember how, as a child, you could believe in magic simply because you were told that it was true. And this is the first clue as to how this film differs from Disney's animated classic. This 1946 film version was made for an adult audience, and not for an audience of children and their parents. Now, I love the Disney version of Beauty and the Beast, but clearly the Disney version is for families, and clearly this French version from 1946 has been made for war-torn French adults who have just finished living through the Nazi occupation of France. So first, I want to give a heads up and state that there are no musical numbers in this version, and like the original story, no talking candlesticks or talking teacups. Like the original story, Belle has two cruel and vain sisters who are not unlike the stepsisters of another famous fairy tale heroine. But as wicked as they are also mocked and ridiculed by Belle's brother and his handsome friend Avenant, who longs to make Belle his wife. So like her Disney counterpart, Belle does have a suitor, but he is not villainous like Disney's Gaston. At least he is not that bad at first, until he lets jealousy consume him. In fact, the actor Jean Marais, who plays Avenant, also plays his competition for Belle's affection, the Beast. But rest assured, there is no Freudian symbolism to this bit of casting, or at least none that I can see. Like the original story, Belle's father becomes lost one night and finds himself at the castle of the Beast. When he is caught stealing a rose from his castle, the Beast threatens to kill him as retribution for his theft, but agrees to accept one of his daughters in exchange. Now, during the first 15 minutes or so, the film seems very grounded. It is beautiful in its use of gorgeous, real location settings, studio settings, and cinematography. But once we enter the castle of the Beast, we are treated to a visual treat of surreal and dreamlike special effects and imagery. Special effects technology was very limited in 1946. But in a France that was still recovering from the war, so were just basic resources. So I'm amazed by how effective the visuals were created for this film, and a lot of this is owed to the director's resourcefulness. Now, once we are in the castle, the film takes on a wonderful dreamlike quality. Belle is at first frightened by the Beast and faints at the first sight of him, but after she recovers, the Beast tells her that she is unequal to him, and that each night at dinner he will ask her to marry him, but that the choice is hers. This is also taken from the original story as well. Josette Day is amazing as Belle. She is angelically beautiful and in real life was a ballet dancer. This is apparent as she moves through the film with such an amazing amount of grace. And nowhere is this more apparent than in the film's slow motion sequences, which only makes her movement seem even more elegant. I want to take a moment to bring up the makeup effects created by makeup artist Hagop Arkelian, and hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. These days, makeup effects have improved so much that even without the use of CGI, we can create makeup effects that will allow the emotional performance of an actor to shine through even layers of prosthetics. But in 1946, makeup technology was very limited. The technological restraints of the time gave actor Jean Marais minimal facial movement, and it is reported that on set, no one could even understand what he was saying underneath the makeup. His voice, of course, would be added later in post-production. But in spite of all this, the makeup effects used in this version of Beauty and the Beast are astounding for their time period. Jean Marais has the unenviable task of having to act from behind the makeup, and he has to act in pantomime to get his points across, and he does an amazing job of it. This beast is tormented by his need to kill in contrast to his desire for love, and Beauty begins to sympathize with his torment. But between the elegance of the performance by Josette Day and the large pantomime of Jean Marais and director Jean Cocteau's film magic, the two become entrancing when they are on screen together. I actually tried watching with the sound turned down during one of their dialogue sequence, and I found that there was just an entrancing quality to it all, even with the sound down. Once again, I love the Disney version, and some movie buffs will say that this 1946 version is the best version. But I am too conflicted between how much I like both to make that statement. But I will say that this 1946 version has a magic and surreal quality to it that no other version has ever achieved. Now, the best version of this film is the one that is available from the Criterion Collection, and it is available on Blu-ray and DVD. The picture quality is many times better than any of the samples that I have been able to show you here. There is, to the best of my knowledge, no English dub of the film, but you can watch it with English subtitles on the Criterion release. It also contains 2 commentary tracks and a variety of bonus features that will enrich your appreciation for the film. This film comes highly recommended. This is TJR. If you've seen this version, please tell me what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to the channel.